So in this video, I'm going to be talking about if Erlc need more cars. So if you do enjoy, make sure you drop a like and also subscribe. Make sure you check out everything else from the description as well. And I've now also publicly released my recording server again. So if you want to join and you want to be in my videos, then check out the link in the description and you can join and get involved and you can be in my videos. But let's get straight into it. Okay, so if we look at the spawn vehicle menu, Erlc does have quite a lot of vehicles. We have at least 50 and we get loads added every single update. For example, the update just yesterday, we got 2 new vehicles. They're both Audis and they're both Q8s and R8s, but they're really popular cars, and it's a new exotic car as well, which is really good, which you kind of need it, and a new luxury car as well. We do get a lot of vehicles, but what I'm talking about in this video is the comparison to other vehicle games. So if we look at Greenville, for example, now Greenville has an update about once per month, sometimes a bit more often than that, and the same with South of Florida. It's about the same time length between each update, but what they add in the updates compared to Erlc is a lot different. So obviously Erlc has an update every 2 weeks, whereas Greenville, which we'll use an example, has one about every month. Sometimes it can be longer, sometimes shorter. They don't really have a schedule, but so if we take into account that every time Greenville has an update, Erlc will have about 2 updates. Now on average, each Erlc update we get 1 new vehicle. Now some updates we get no vehicles, then the update after we might get 2, which means that it's an average of 1 vehicle per update. For example, the one we got yesterday, we had 2 vehicles, but we didn't have any for the Halloween one previously, and they were kind of every 2 weeks. Halloween updates were a bit of an exception because they were all over the place and we had loads of different ones, but usually it's 1 update per 2 weeks. Now in Greenville, when they have an update, they'll get about 30 vehicles. Now I must say, Greenville's vehicles are not as detailed as Erlc's vehicles in my opinion. I think the way Erlc do them are so much better. They have the actual nice detailed rims, they have nice detailed cars, whereas Greenville, for example, it's all kind of images, and the wheels, you can see they're just images and they don't look very high quality in my opinion, and I much prefer these kind of ones. They look more realistic, they look, you know, more similar to your big games, like your big games. So you've got like GTA, where these ones, they don't look like GTA ones, but you can see they look more similar, whereas Greenville's, they're all just images. And same with South Florida as well. That's always a thing I've hated against them games. However, by having that, it allows them to spend their time over much more different vehicles. So for example, Erlc might have 2 vehicles in a month, which is an average of 1 update of 1 vehicle per update. Now if they had 2 vehicles in a month, then these vehicles would be more highly detailed, like the 2 Audis you got, for example. They were nice, highly detailed ones, whereas in that same time span, Greenville may have got I don't know, like 30 vehicles added in one of their updates. Now them vehicles would be great quality, yes, however they wouldn't be as detailed as Erlc's. Now Greenville have other features, like Greenville have like an autopilot feature on some of their vehicles. They have like an emergency braking system where it brakes on its own if you get too close to another vehicle. They have like nice hazards, for example, when you do the indicator on some cars, it like goes out nicely and like zooms out, and in Greenville they have that, but in Erlc they don't have that. And also in Greenville you are able to like wrap your car and change your engine modifications and suspension and all kind of stuff like that. So there's a lot more customizability in Greenville, but Erlc doesn't have that. Now I know Erlc has a lot less developers than Greenville, but I don't really think that that's a reason why there shouldn't be a lot of cars. Now I can't say that Erlc doesn't have a lot of cars, because it does have a lot of vehicles, and that kind of goes without saying. It has a lot of vehicles in the game, has loads of police vehicles. It does have more police vehicles than Greenville or Southwest Florida, and it also has more fire vehicles in Greenville or Southwest Florida, and actually quite a lot more fire vehicles along with DOT vehicles as well. But in terms of civilian cars, yes, there's a lot to choose from. Like I know every single car. Like if I see a car driving around the map, I'll know what it looks like and I'll know the name of it. Like whereas in Greenville, I know it's because I don't play it as much, but in Greenville there's hundreds of cars, and you go in and each time you spawn in you see a different car that you don't really see and you've never seen before, and it might have a different wrap, or it might have different suspension or different engine modifications, and they all sound really nice, and Erlc's do sound very nice as well, don't get me wrong. But Greenville just have a huge more variety of cars, and I think for roleplay that adds a lot more to it. However, because the map is so small in Erlc, it's not that small now obviously with the new map expansion, but it still isn't like the largest. You know, Greenville's and South Australia's is definitely a lot bigger, but the detail of Erlc's is great, and I can't complain about it anymore because it is perfect. And I prefer, this is the size of map that I would want compared to something like Greenville, where it's too hard to learn and not as detailed in places, but that's for a different topic. But overall, I just think it would be nicer if Erlc had some more cars. I think it needs more cars. Some of them are really nice, and some of them just aren't used as it is. Like this car, for example, isn't really used very much. I know it's because it's quite kind of new, but you know, there's a lot of these cheaper cars as well. Like you never really see people driving around in that or driving around in that, or you do see them, but not as much as you see people in, like, you know, your Ford Mustangs or your, maybe not that one, but you know what I mean, these kind of BMWs and stuff, the more popular, expensive cars. So I think Erlc needs a few more vehicles, but I don't think it's a massive major thing anymore. Erlc are okay, they're a good amount, there's a good amount of vehicles in the game, but I think in each update we need a bit more content. Like the update we got yesterday, they removed the Halloween event and we got 2 cars, pretty much it. I think we need more content for each update, whereas in, you know, Southwest Florida now, for example, we get loads of vehicles, we get like maybe 3 new jobs, new buildings, new interactive things, stuff like that, whereas in Erlc we might get a building and a car at most sometimes, you know. So it would be nice if we did kind of just get more stuff, but they are decent sized updates. Sometimes it's just, sometimes they are quite small as well. But a small update for Erlc is like 1 car and that's all, and then a small update for Greenville is maybe 15 cars and a new job, whereas that's a lot different to Erlc, obviously. So I think Erlc, obviously I'm not a developer so I can't say much, but in my personal opinion I think they should get a few more developers so that they can have more updates, and so that the updates can be bigger in size and that a lot more can be added, because there's thousands of suggestions each day for Erlc and maybe 1 of them per month is added. So I think more developers would allow for more suggestions to be added, give the community what they want, because at the end of the day Erlc is a great game. But for example, straight away this building here could have an interior, or you know, the car dealership could be a job you could work at, and there might be AI that go in and could buy a car. All of these things are just suggestions straight off the top of my head, and they've all been requested, probably most of them, before in the suggestion channel in Erlc. I know it's hard to do, but with more developers it is so much more possible. I know they are actually hiring developers as well, but I think so many more would be perfect. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think, if Erlc needs more vehicles. I personally think they do. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out everything else from the description as well, and also, as I said, if you want to join my recording server, check out the description. You are able to join now and you are able to train and do whatever you need to do. So thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in my next one. Bye.